Johnny's Cheap with another comfort food favorite that I'm not gonna lie, I've never made. Chicken pot pie. I love like banquet chicken pot pie, beef pot pie, turkey pot pie. Are you kidding me? Love them. My grandpa and I, that was eating highfalutin when he was farming and I'd stay with him for a few days. And he'd make that for lunch. That was the best lunch ever. And I still love them to this day. But I'm gonna try a homemade version. If you remember when I made my chicken and noodles, we'll post the link so you can see that. I make like a chicken and noodles base, which is the chicken with a really thick broth. And I said you can use it to make chicken and noodles. You can use it to make a chicken pot pie or cream chicken and veggies on biscuits, something like that. So I have my chicken noodle base. I'm gonna dice up a potato, add some mixed veggies, a little bit of diced onion, and Pillsbury pie crust. We got this at Sam's, a big pack of pie crusts, and I'm going to put it in like a pie tin and just make a chicken pot pie, homemade, the cheap way with Johnny's Cheap. I got the oven preheating to 450 according to the directions for the pie crust, and I peeled the potato and diced it up in small pieces, and I'm just kind of parboiling the potatoes. I want them at least about half cooked because the pot pie isn't going to cook long enough to cook the potatoes. So now I've got my chicken base. That's my chicken, my broth, and my thickness into a pot. And I'm going to add I just did a couple of slices of onion. This isn't like half an onion or anything. It's just a little bit of diced onion. I'm going to add my mixed veggies. On sale, these were 66 cents at Fairway. Just add some of those. See, it's peas, carrots, corn, and green beans. No onion, so that's why I added the onion. I'm not gonna go too heavy on it. Just like that. And we're gonna heat this up, let it get good and thick and mixed up and hot. I'm excited. We got this pie crust at Sam's. It's a 6-pack. I've never used one before. I've done the frozen pie dough in a tin, you know. And we're just gonna end up unrolling this and putting it on top. Of course, you could do a top and a bottom. That's gonna be good. Oh yeah. Bacon from scratch. Cheap anyway, right? All right, so I got my veggies and my liquid in here. I'm gonna pull a little bit out just to be able to make a little cornstarch slurry because that's not quite thick enough. You know, usually if you're doing chicken and noodles, you put the noodles in there, that'll thicken it up a little. But I'm gonna save this to make it a little slurry, just to thicken it up, just planning ahead. If I don't need it, I don't have to use it. Starch, we're gonna just make a little slurry. This is in the still cold broth. And I'm gonna whisk that up. That'll just thicken it up. Just like that, and we'll just add it in slowly and stir it in, and that should thicken everything up. That's a cornstarch slurry. All right, our taters are parboiled. I used to, you know, diced, doesn't take long, maybe 5 minutes like that. I'm just gonna add those in to our veggies and broth. Drain the water off. We don't need to add any water. And that'll be all of our filling for the chicken pot pie. All right, our chicken, our base, our veggies, our onions we added, all going good. It's a little bit soupy, as you can see. So we're gonna add that cornstarch slurry that we made. And that should thicken it up. So we're starting to thicken very nicely. I'm gonna add a little salt and a little pepper. All righty. So let's go with the salt. And pepper. And I'm going to turn the heat off because this is ready to make a pot pie. So our filling is ready. We're going to fill the pan with the thick, chickeny, veggie, pot pie filling goodness. Like I said, I'm using a pie pan. You can use ramekins. You can do individual ones. You could use a real pie tin. This is just like a round baking tin, but it's like the perfect size for what I want. So that is done. Now we just need to put our crust on top. And as I said, that's gonna fit about perfectly. I'm just gonna pinch down the edges, just like that. And we'll have to cut a couple of slits in the top. The oven's preheated at 450, and this will just be a crust on the top. If you want one on the bottom, you can do one on the bottom. But Mrs. Cheap and I are opting for the single crust.
Low carb.
Yeah, right. Okay, so we're just gonna cut some slits. There we go, that should be enough. The oven's at 450, we're going in, man. All right, since we have no crust on the bottom and it doesn't need to get brown, we're gonna just put it in the pan just so if it drips, you know what? We don't have a messy oven. 450 oven, we're gonna go until it gets almost perfectly done, and then we're gonna brush a little butter on top to finish it off. So there's our pot pie after 14 minutes. I got a little melted butter. I'm just gonna brush this on the top. It browned up really nice, and I didn't put an egg wash on it or anything. I was putting a little butter on there for flavor and, you know, whatever else. Maybe brown it up a little more.
Butter's never bad.
Nope, nope, always butter. I'm gonna use it all. But that's looking mighty good. So we're just gonna go back in the oven, the 450 oven for, I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes maybe. Our filling was already cooked, right? It was nice and hot. We just need the crust to get brown. And it's about there. Johnny's Cheap homemade chicken pot pie, looking mighty fine. We gotta let it rest for about, 5 to 10 minutes. It's not gonna get cold, so don't worry about that. It's just gonna settle and get nice and thick and be all ready to dive in.
Dewey's in front of the fire.
I don't know if I need something like green or something for color on top. That's golden crust though. Butter crust, homemade chicken pot pie. It's rested for about 5 minutes, so I'm just gonna cut in. As I've said, I've never made this before, so I'm a first timer here. But there we go. Yeah, I'm thinking it looks pretty good.
It looks hot.
It looks very hot. I'm just gonna do a little salt, a little pepper. I hope it's good because I've actually dreamed about this for years, about making this, and I've never done it. That crust is so flaky. Trying to get everything, potatoes, chicken, veggies. Oh, I need a carrot. I need 1 carrot. There we go. It's really hot, so give me a break here. It tastes just like I thought it would. It's great and better than Swanson. This is really good and obviously homemade with that pie crust. Wow, Pillsbury pie crust works great on this. And like I said, the way I do my chicken and noodles, I just do that chicken base that I call it. See the recipe, we'll link it for you. But that's great for doing chicken and noodles, for doing chicken pot pie, for doing cream chicken on biscuits, whatever you want to do. And it freezes great and makes a lot of tasty meals. All right, so this is a winner. You know what? Great memories from my grandpa back when I was like 7 years old, and those cost like $0.25, and I thought that was really highfalutin eating chicken pot pie. But look at this. It's so golden, and you could probably feed 4 people out of this one chicken pot pie homemade. Mrs. Cheap and I are gonna have leftovers, but it's really tasty. This is a winner chicken pot pie dinner with Johnny's Cheap. Share the video, share all of our videos. Hey, you know what? Thanks for watching. We appreciate it so much. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Click the subscribe button so you get all the videos when we post them, and we really appreciate it. I love doing this. Thanks for watching Johnny's Cheap.